On the last example, I used a formula. I thought we'd already shown the formula in the notes, but we hadn't yet. I'll explain where it comes from in example 6. I'll kind of give you an explanation. Whoops. Change my pen here. Example 6 says, what is the angle measure in any polygon if it's equal angular? What is the measure of each angle? Because they're all going to be the same. So we know that the sum of all the angles, we knew this formula already. Was that. But there's, based on the number of angles, there's n sides or n interior angles. So if I know the total, then I can just divide it by the number of angles, and which in this case is n angles, and that will give me each angle. So that's what I got here when I do that. So that's the formula I used last time. You didn't have to know that. You could have figured out the top right there. And then you could have said, well, I know there's, just like I said, there's n of them, so then I'll divide whatever the answer is by this, and I'll get each one. But there's an interesting result that this can be written a different way. This can be written like this. If we distribute the 180, so you get 180 n minus 360, and you divide it by n. So all I did was distribute the 80 into both parts. And then I'm going to divide. This is the same as writing it as 1 over n in front, 180 n minus 360. And if I distribute this into both parts, then I'm going to get 180. You notice that these n's cancel out when they're multiplied in, so you get 180 times 1. And then 1 times negative 360, and I'm going to divide it by n, which is the same as multiplying. If you put it like this, it's the same as multiplying this, and then this and this together. Okay? And you get another result that looks like this. So there's really two formulas. There's this formula here, n minus 2 times 180 divided by n, and there's this one here. When you distribute it, it looks like this, and that's this one at the bottom here has an interesting result later on in the notes, and the result is this becomes very interesting later on in the notes. So keep that in mind when we get to the next part.